Wobbly Mans. Are you going live?
Watch my video. Are you really about to watch it? Okay, good. If you do, you're going to embarrass me. Yes, I don't got no comments. I don't got no comments. Okay, guys, what should I do? Hey!
Look at my comment.
Is it still going live? Okay. Friends Alpha, hi. I need a camera.
You earned $2.99.
Face cam is used to record your face with front camera while recording. Do you want to use it? Okay. No, I'm not on the U recorder. I know that. Yeah. Okay. The AZ app here. Watch my live video and I'll show you. Are you on there? My live video?
What AZ app are you talking?
Let me know when you're on there.
It's loading.
Oh, I can draw too. Please do not donate. Alright, so people have to donate money to me. Okay. You see that? Okay. You see the AZ screen RE? Did you click it?
It's a video game.
Do you see it? AZ screen RE? Look that up on the thing. Now I'm going back to my game, guys. Guys, donate to my videos so I can get face cam so y'all can see my face. It's gonna be in there. Give me a phone.
Is it the first one?
It's.
Which one is it? Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone.
Huh? No, it's AZ screen recorder.
I know.
Type that in. AZ screen recorder. Type that in.
AZ screen recorder.
No, let me see it. That's it right there. You got it, bruh. But just remember, you cannot get no space cam until someone donates some money. Yeah, but that's on mom's card. I put money on mom's card, which I didn't. That's not making sense, right? Kinda. Oh my god, it's 60. You got it? Wait, can't wait. Wait, I said to subscribe to your channel. What's your YouTube name? FRANKALBA. Frank Alba. No, it's not. Okay. Okay, yep, I see it. You get 2 subscribers. Hey guys, this is my brother. You give me some. No, you have to go through the process.
What?
If you give me your phone, I can show you the process. Okay.
See what you made me do?
Here.
Why are you snatching?
Go there. Or no. Go to Line. Go to YouTube. Hold on, guys.
You know you can just pause the video, right?
I'm gonna look up your phone number.
Why?
Because you need an email or a phone number. So I'm gonna look up your phone number on my phone. It's gonna be real quick. Right.
No, you're still going live, right?
Yeah.
You let them see all that and stuff?
Like they really do it. Don't answer the phone for them. Then just say this is not you. Okay.
Okay, I'll say hello. This is Freddy Krueger.
Okay. Like, if they do call you, just tell Mama. So these people keep calling me. Dang it. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 7, 8. 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. Go. What's your type in your password and give it right back. No, it has to be your actual password. And you know your password, don't you?
I'll press next.
Yep.
I did.
No. Okay, try Denise. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this video?
What did you put?
Hey guys, I'm just trying to put on face cam real quick.
My email already popped up.
Face cam.
Make pinch.
Hey guys.
Make body pinch.
Alrighty. Auto parts. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And today we're
Here,
playing
give me
Granny.
your phone.
Is it scary?
Let
Or
me
is
put
it
in your
not?
email.
We don't know.
Okay.
Sorry guys, you can't see me.
I was
It's
just
raining
happy I'm
outside,
putting in
and I
your
don't
email.
really have the window open.
My email won't work.
So sorry if you can't
Why?
see me. I'm gonna open the window.
Who texts you?
No one.
What? There. So, but I don't know how to. What happened? She really
Is people texting you? Are you going live now? Yeah, if you watch my video, you're gonna laugh at me. Just watch it. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yep, and I'm stuck with my trailer. In my nice looking truck, guys. I'm stuck. Do you have a first one? Oh guys, let's watch this video. Let's watch this video.
no, I don't have face cam right now. So, hey, I'm about to do some gaming. I have a cap, and I like this game. I don't really have face cam right now, so donate some money to me, so I can get face cam, and then you guys be able to see me. And make sure to subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to leave a
Did you
like
pause
and
it?
hit the bell icon. Then for the intro.
I subscribed and I'm
Yes, I dare you to watch. Okay, yes. No, no, I didn't mean to press that button. Oh, dang it, guys. Okay, let me check my comments. Okay, let's exit out of that and go to Adventure Capitalist. Yes! Okay, I can go buy. Into my game, it always does this. Oh, dang. Let me check my comments. I subbed, and I'm watching you go live, and I'm going live. Yes, I got the movie studio.
Look at all that money, y'all. This is my brother going live, but like he's right next to me. Look at all that money, y'all. Like seriously, he's ignorant. Ignorant is the bad. Ignorant is lit. Seriously, he's ignorant. Ignorant is the bad. Ignorant is lit. Like seriously, guys.
Get you. Let me go check my managers. Okay, I need 10 billion right now. I'm gonna move it. Why do you eat my pizza?
Gold jewelry shining so bright, strawberry champagne on ice. Lucky for you.
Be super careful, okay? Because someone's running my stop sign!
Judy Clapwick has had it. We watched as drivers continually ignored her flashing red lights. They are supposed to stop, front and back. But many didn't.
I'm scared.
Judy drives for the Combined Christian School Transportation Association and says the problem is getting worse.
I had the camera inside.
Which is why she taped her cell phone to the inside of her window.
Right here.
Flashing red lights, flashing stop sign, and horn blast. Still, cars kept coming through. It's hard to see in the mirror, but the flashing stop sign is out. 1, 2, 3 cars blow right through.
Are you crazy? There's a child right there.
That red car just keeps going.
Wow.
School buses are carrying our most precious cargo.
It can happen. Oh my God! A child nearly hit in Florida. And look at this, a car racing through the inside lane. Narrowly missing students trying to board a bus in Washington State.
I just look both ways and run.
There they go again.
That car turning right is supposed to stop.
Hi, guys.
Every day, her bus company picks up 900 kids. Every day, this happens. 9 different vehicles, all going through with the red light and stop sign flashing. It's a $167 ticket with 3 demerit points, but the police can't be everywhere.
Another message we have is for parents to teach your children that they can't rely on drivers to do the right thing.
Okay, Divine.
Lock and loaded.
Be careful. You have to stop.
One time, I was walking there and a car almost hit me and I just ran.
You need to stop because the consequences can be so catastrophic. Stop! Stop!
Ross McLaughlin, CTV News, Vancouver.
It's my iPhone 6. Can we fix this phone tonight?
You can turn off the performance management feature,
Battery throttling.
or you can just upgrade it.
Whoa, I'm moving on.
The super fast Galaxy S9. Available now.
Video that will startle any parent. Drivers breaking the law and putting children at risk. Caught on camera again and again and again.
I don't want to see a child get hit or killed. Tonight in a KCRA3 investigation, we're showing you how many drivers are breaking laws meant to keep children safe.
KCRA3's Kevin Oliver is here with a problem and a possible solution, Kevin.
What you're about to see happens thousands of times every day in communities across California. Despite the fine and the risk to children, bus drivers say the problem seems to be getting worse. Every school day, Cameron and his mom head out to the end of their long driveway in Grass Valley to catch the bus.
Goodbye, I love you. Have a good day, bud.
Most days it's uneventful, but in September, Cameron never made it to his seat.
I saw him coming really fast. He also didn't stop his brakes until he
was really close to the bus.
The driver of this green truck crashed head-on into the bus as Cameron was climbing on board.
I just thought that if I tried to jump out, my legs would get really hurt.
This is pretty much right where the stairwell was.
Cameron's mother, Stacy, was still at the bus stop and saw it all happen.
Anxiety, panic, you know.
She watched paramedics remove her son on a stretcher. Stacy couldn't help but think what would have happened if the bus driver had stepped outside the bus.
I immediately thought, what if she had been out in the road crossing children, you know, across the road to get onto the bus? If she had been out there holding her sign and then had children with her, they all would have been hit by that truck.
When the truck stopped, this was the view from the bus driver's seat.
I will never forget that sound of metal hitting metal.
Nancy Beatty was driving the bus. Beatty says she sees drivers go through her stop sign all the time.
It's regular, and then you get the ones that they'll stop, people will stop, they'll obey it, and then you get cars that are like 1, 2, 3, 4 cars behind them and decide to go around them.
In fact, we rode along with her and saw it happen over and over again. Our cameras caught 7 people passing buses in Grass Valley in one afternoon. And it's not just happening in small towns on rural roads. It's happening in cities across the country. We also took our cameras to West Sacramento. And over 3 weeks, watched car after car after car passing school buses while their stop signs were out.
Route 2 is 10-8.
Bus driver Christina Velez took us on her route.
For me, it's a daily basis, morning and afternoon.
At one stop, a semi-truck, and not one, not 2, but 3 other cars passed the stop sign and the flashing lights. By the way, we emailed and called the trucking company, but they never called back. At a different bus stop, we saw a parade of motorists, including a FedEx truck, driving past a stopped school bus. The delivery company said in a statement, FedEx will not tolerate reckless or unsafe driving, especially when the safety of children is involved, and added, we will conduct a thorough investigation into this matter. West Sacramento has police officers dedicated to watching out for the buses.
Certainly the hours that the kids are going to be going to school in the morning and the hours when they get out. When the school buses are more prone to have those lights on, the drivers need to be more aware.
And we saw it working, at least when the police were there. But when they aren't there, we saw drivers going so far as to maneuver around other cars who did stop. Watch this gray car go around the blue car on the left, driving right past the stopped school bus. This past year, bus drivers across the country counted how many people passed them illegally in one day. They tallied more than 78,000 nationwide. More than 21,000 of those were in California.
I don't see how anybody can't miss a big yellow bus with red lights flashing at them.
Bus drivers say the signs are there for a reason. When the stop sign's out, there's a higher risk a child could be in the street. Just watch how many students ended up in the street after this one stop.
But you have kids that are running late or miss their bus and they want to run across that street and catch your bus, you know. And it's just real important that people are aware, you know, that there are kids out there.
In other areas around the country, cameras on board buses caught near misses. Watch this student crossing in front of a bus in West Virginia.
Oh my God!
And in Seattle, an SUV passed a school bus on the right. Watch again, the car almost hits the group of students. To combat the problem, 12 states now allow cameras to be attached to the outside of school buses to catch those drivers as they go by. In Wyoming, the cameras are required and drivers can turn the video over to police. But there's never been an effort to do the same here in California. Back in Grass Valley, Cameron says the soreness from the crash has gone away, but his mom still worries it could happen again.
It takes 15 to 20 seconds for that bus to pick up those kids, and then it's on its way again. You know, it's not worth running people over or injuring people, you know, for 20 or 30 seconds worth of time.
During our investigation, we did see a fair number of drivers stop for the buses, but every single day that we went out, either with a bus driver or to stake out a bus stop, we saw at least one driver blow through those stop signs.
I cannot believe how many cars you caught. As a mom, I want to go out and yell and grab those drivers.
It was surprising.
What about the cost of a ticket? So if the police pull them over, they get a ticket. Is that any kind of deterrent? Is that cost high enough?
The ticket for running a stop sign on the bus is one of the highest on the books. It depends on where you live, but in most cities, it's about $700, and with additional fees, it can go higher. As for it being a deterrent, drivers either they don't realize that the fine is that high for running those stop signs, or they think that they can just sneak by.
It's exciting to see that video. What would it take to get dash cameras on school buses?
Right now, in California, it would take another piece of legislation. The State Department of Education told me first it would require a new law that allows those cameras to be put on the outsides of school buses, and then it just becomes a matter of cost for all of those cameras. So many school buses across the state of California, so it'd be a huge cost.
Great story, Kevin. Hopefully this lets us kind of make some changes, get people to slow down too. Thank you.
Now, hurry up before I start it.
I'm gonna watch my brother real quick, and I think I'll pause.
You pause the video while you get on, so they don't know the secret.
It's okay. I can't even pause the video.
Let me know when you're there. Are you ready?
You were playing Granny? Aiden?
No, I was watching you. No, watch it. No, watch the live part. Get live.
Actually, I won't watch it.
Why?
Hey guys, we'll be watching some annoying boys. You'll watch annoying boys. Turn that down.
Bump, 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 ba-dum, bump. I be on the next, I see it, I don't stop. Bump, bump, ba-dum, bump.
On average, 8 kids are killed each year getting on or off a school bus. Now, drivers who ignore the flashing lights and stop signs are being caught in 15 states by cameras on the bus. Mark Strassman takes us to school.
When the school bus in Austin stopped 2 weeks ago, Miles McFadden got off. A pickup truck barreled into the 7th grader.
And I see this truck coming, I expect him to stop, but he doesn't, and everything just goes into a blur.
He was bruised, but otherwise fine. Amy McFadden is Miles's mother.
It's just your heart drops into your feet, and you just can barely breathe when you're watching that.
The very next day, another driver in Austin plowed into a high school junior getting off a school bus. Amazingly, he was also fine. By one estimate, American drivers illegally passed school buses with their stop signs out more than 14 million times last year. In February, Austin mounted exterior cameras on 320 school buses. When the bus stop signs come out, 5 cameras start recording.
The bus stop signs out.
Every day, Austin school police review dozens of videos and fine violators like this one $300.
That's quick.
Chief Eric Mendez. You'd think the stop sign would be hard to miss.
Well, you would think that the big 30-foot-long bright yellow school bus would be hard to miss. That's probably a 50 to 100 right there.
In 4 months, they sent citations to 6,600 motorists.
That's a lot of violators in a very short time period.
Those citations generated almost $2 million in fines. But Texas State Senator Don Huffines would rather invest in safety features other school systems have adopted, like these 6-foot extenders that block traffic from passing buses.
We need to be focused on what actually works to prevent the accidents before they occur.
Austin school officials hoped publicizing these cameras would be a safety alert. But in the first week of this new school year, Scott, these cameras recorded another 900 drivers going past buses that were letting kids on and off.
Mark Strassman, thanks very much.
Live like you always have. Learn like you never have before. FlexPath, only from Capella University.
Late last year, we decided to try out stop arms, extended stop arms, in an effort to maybe reduce the motorists from running the reds when we're picking up and dropping off students. The extended stop arms is more visible to motorists, and we thought that if we have the 6-foot stop arms, that they would be more prone to stop than with the 2-foot stop arms. We put them on 10 buses. This is a trial. We're in the process of gathering data to see if it actually works with the extended stop arms. We do have drivers that report back to us that they have problem with motorists running the reds at certain stops around the city.
Drivers are tending to stop more because they don't want the fact of trying to detour around the extended arms. So we're getting a lot of better response from the drivers cooperating and stopping for the reds.
Hidden away in High Point is one of our state's most fascinating businesses, a company that has specialized in the same ubiquitous product since 1936. A product that virtually everyone in North Carolina is likely to be intimately familiar with, the yellow school bus. Starting in 1916, the Pearlie A. Thomas Car Works made streetcars until that mode of transportation became outdated. So Thomas switched to making school buses. And over the years, a lot of them. If you're into school buses, this is your field of dreams. Thomas-built buses come in 3 basic sizes, essentially small, medium, and large, depending on passenger capacity and use for various school, commercial, and specialty applications. You'd expect that kind of variety from North America's leading bus manufacturer. How do you build a bus? As it turns out, very methodically and to the highest standards.
Probably no one understands that the school buses are the most heavily regulated vehicles on the road today. There are a number of federal motor vehicle safety standards that apply only to school buses. One example, every joint on a school bus has to be 60% as strong as the parent steel. So in other words, if you take a 10,000-pound tensile strength of a piece of steel, where those joints come together, it has to be 6,000 pounds at that joint. Another requirement is rollover strength. The roof of the vehicle has to support 1.5 times the weight of the entire vehicle, so the roof doesn't collapse in the unlikely event of a rollover. Seating in school buses is very unique. It has to meet certain requirements for deflection, for energy absorption, for height, for width, for distance between the seats. All of that is called compartmentalization. And I can go on and on. Fuel tanks on all of the school buses are surrounded by fuel cages, warning lights, stop arms, the number of emergency exits, push-out windows, rear emergency doors, side emergency doors. All of those things are unique to school buses.
Making a school bus body to satisfy federal government regulations, the specs of each of 50 states, 11 Canadian provinces, and countless individual customers, each made to order, is a complicated affair.
If you look at that all together, we have in excess of 20,000 options. Years ago, we did some research. A leading manufacturer's #1 brand of automobile had a grand total of 285 total options. And on school buses, there's in excess of 20,000.
Construction begins with the basics. Raw material, which is cut, shaped, welded, assembled, riveted, moved around a lot, painted, outfitted with interiors and accessories, tested, inspected, and finally driven out the door. That's a dramatically distilled version of how Thomas has made custom-built school buses for years. But there's now also a more high-tech way. Thanks to Thomas's relatively new parent company, Daimler AG, the maker of Mercedes-Benz.
Daimler is the world's largest manufacturer of commercial vehicles. They've brought some incredible technology to us that we actually employ in our C2 facility.
A large chunk of the Daimler contribution was robotics.
The first robotic technology is when we're actually applying the structural adhesive to the frame structure of the bus. It has to be applied consistently, and the robots do that for us. It's 2 times stronger than the normal panels that are applied with rivets and screws. So you get twice the bonding power with the structural adhesive. The other robotic technology that we employ at this facility is in our paint booth. That also provides a very consistent finish and actually significant savings in the amount of paint that's used because it's being done very consistently with the robots. And the other form of robotic technology that we use here is actually to move the buses around. We actually have a robot that picks up the bus body, delivers it to that particular mounting station. Once the body is actually lifted off of the truck, as it's referred to, then that robot will take the truck back to the staging area for it to be used on a new bus body as part of the manufacturing process. So we affectionately refer to that robot as R2C2. There is a robotic welding area where we're actually welding the floor sections together. We can put the floor sections into this robotic welding cell and it will very consistently and very efficiently weld all of the components together for the floor structure. Well, the key is the consistency. You know, it does it the same way every single solitary time, so you can count on the consistency of the welds, consistency of the...
Hey guys, James here. I have Paul and Peachin on Skype, and then I have my company on Discord since Paul's Discord's not working, so yeah. So this is what we're doing. We're doing a big field trip. Somebody mentioned it into the comments on
5907 to 1415, James.
Hold on, I'm doing a review.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And then he added that radio. Alright, go ahead, Bus Driver 5. I don't remember which bus number it is. Yeah, 5907.
Since Todd is on Skype, can you give me the clear? I can leave the ES since he's on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Are y'all loading up, guys? Is everybody loading up?
I'm loading up now.
Yeah.
Your bus is loaded.
I want to leave.
I got 2 handicaps, so give me...
Leader High School.
The creators of this new free app are hoping to make roads safer by making drivers better. Do you consider yourself a good driver?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the maiden voyage. There we go. All right, first time we're going to turn the key on this thing. I don't see a wait to start indicator. Looks like air pressure's up already. Full tank of gas. Full tank of DEF fluid. There we go. Set it for Hoke. Alright. Let me see lights. Let's do a lamp check. Walk around and have a look at the lights. Alright. All the ones in the front are going blinky blinky like they're supposed to. We'll check out the back. We're not going to get around the back. It's up against the bushes. New tires all the way around. That's just awesome. Man, everything is... backing into a bush, scratching up my new paint. And when I get back to the compound, we'll put it on the mirror grid and make sure all that's good. And it's so quiet. Cancel lamp check, lights on. Left turn signal, right turn signal.
Yeah.
The mirrors are kind of okay. Like I said, when we get back to the compound, we'll put it on the mirror grid, make sure everything's set, because the crossovers aren't right or anything like that. So we'll have to check all that stuff before we can pick kids up with it. All right, here we go. I tell you right now, the Cummins has a way different character to it. And the customary international squeak down by the door, they built that in. I don't think they've yet figured out how to build a bus without that having that squeak down there. Well, so far in the 100 yards that I've driven it, transmission upshifts very, very smoothly. The engine is very quiet. Ride quality is nice too. Seems to be well damped up front. It's really hard hard to tell what engine performance is like because it's still cold. And these engines, they don't operate the same when they're cold as when they're
O'Reilly Automotive Parts.
Hello.
Oops. What? Monique was probably Michael's first girlfriend, and I didn't say following his divorce. I think early on, he was really excited that she was so into him. So there's a 10-year age difference.
Why are they even trying to tell us? I think they're just kind of stupid. Come on, you get the penguin. Come on. Come on. Yeah. You got the penguin. Paint her fingers. And then we separated and remained best friends. And I talked about it a little bit, and he told me that he cared for her, but he wasn't ready for a relationship. You know, our separation was still there, and I think Monique had a special place in Michael's heart. Oh, dang. But I also think that he got to follow the cross. Find his way. Living in an apartment while sharing custody and crocheting of their Brush his teeth, man.
also weighed on Michael.
This is when you're being lazy.
That was one of his biggest worries when we decided to separate, was whether or not
It's part of when you're being lazy.
on his own night place. You don't want kids growing up in a small apartment.
Good morning, guys. I gotta get my blueberry.
What about the air systems? Do you release the brake to let the air go into them before I pull that pin?
It's a new trailer?
Yeah. So if the air released to move the tandems, I think you put air in there first.
Well, if it's working properly, you should be able to release it and it would have held it, but it's better to go ahead and give it some just in case it had a little leak.
It never works for me.
Not first off. It's rare first off. So I'll go ahead and release it on the trailer and that'll give it some air, and then once it fills up, just do your thing and then come back and you'll be able to pull it. Well, you can't pull it until I pull this. It won't pull. It's giving it air.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
When are you gonna release that again then?
Let me see. Pressure's good now, so now do it. Okay. That was Jade basically trying to move the axles for California legal. Okay, Vitamix. Gotta get that going. Gotta get my coffee going. So, let's do this. Oh no. Jade didn't drink all her coffee. No, it's not that much. Let's see. Alright, so, got my coffee. Of course, Jade's hooking up to a new trailer. You guys know that. I just woke up. She's gonna drive us out of here. And, there's the water. Let's do this. It's hard to do one-handed. Uh-oh.
That made it work for the first time.
That made it work?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so now I gotta put my, whoa, I need two hands. All right, that's easier. So, put the pot in, good to go. Now, I've got to get, this out for the Vitamix. Not sure how good you guys can see this. Now, do 2 cups. Yeah, it's about 2 cups. Yeah, 2 cups of blueberries. And these are organic blueberries. If that matters to some, it does. Some, it doesn't. And I'll put a banana in it. 1 nanner. And some chia seeds. Remember, my coffee's still going. Let's see. I'm going to do what is that? One tablespoon. So I'm gonna do 2 of those chia seeds in my smoothie. Okay, so it's very important, this next step, while you're in a truck, because you don't have the power source of house. Because these are frozen blueberries. Once I pour this mango in here, I don't have much time. Like, I've got to put this on the Vitamix immediately. So, here we go. Actually, let me give this a shake.
Yeah, you could set that on here and pour it through the lid. You need to be faster at it then.
I'll do it this way. Set it on. Go. And see, what that did is it didn't give it time to freeze the whole thing. Now I get my coffee, pour that in my cup. Now at this point, I'm making another, like I use the same pot, but I'm making another coffee, and this is going. So the smoothie's finished. I got a straw in my mouth, because I take that top off, and I put the straw right there. There we go. And my coffee, done. And just need to stir it. There we go. And that's my breakfast.
May I ask you for a favor, love?
What's that?
Brew me some hot water in the Keurig.
Sure. All right. Breakfast of champions. Jay's gonna drive us out of here from Memphis, and I've got the perfect setup. See? Everything just fits right on there. About to put my seatbelt on, have my coffee, my smoothie. That's how we do it. So the smoothie was delicious, and the coffee is absolutely delicious. Jade is finishing up her shift here, trying to find a nice little spot to switch at. A little switcheroo. I'm gonna make a couple sandwiches. My drive.
Oh, you guys know how we filmed that giant fire in Oklahoma that was right by the interstate, and we made the comment like, wow, if the wind shifted, that would be terrible. Well, in Arkansas today, around Forest City, but a little bit east of Forest City, Arkansas on 40, there was a farmer burning his field, and the wind shifted.
Please be quiet, Ray Ray.
Coming up on this episode of Repo Man.
Yeah, she's carving it.
Sean teams up with H and Eddie to track down a missing ice cream van.
I'll jump in with you. If he starts being an arsehole, we'll just leave him where he is.
Sean's sweet tooth is put to the test.
I don't want an ice cream.
You have to cool this up, Danny.
I don't want an ice cream. Fucking calm down. You fucking prick.
The boys decide to go for something that's not on the menu.
Calm down. You're going to calm down.
But have they bitten off more than they can chew?
So he's ringing for his boys now. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't mind scrapping again. Hi, I'm Edina City Manager Scott Neal, and you're watching On the Job, a program where we show you the hard-working men and women that make the city of Edina a great place and show you some things that can only be learned on the job. Streets of Edina today, and we're going to learn something that's very near and dear to drivers' hearts, and that is how to build.
Ray Ray, are you going live?
Yeah.
I am too. Our video is gonna be so long. My video. Oh my god!